Hello, Rob here from the Flanagan Homestead. Today is one of those projects I enjoy building, but this is going to be a little bit of a pain the way I have to do this. So behind me you see this is a row of 12 feet long of firewood. I have 12 rows of firewood here. I cut and stacked this wood here because I was given some logs during the summer and I needed to get it done, and I just leveled off a spot and just started cutting and splitting firewood, and I've just got a ton of firewood here right now. The unfortunate thing is it's not cured, so I can't burn it this winter. I need to store it, but I don't want to tarp it. Tarps don't do the best because it kind of holds the moisture in, so this wood needs to sit here until next year, then I'll sell it off. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to build a roof to put over it. I'm actually going to take 2x6s and some metal roofing, and I'm going to put the framing right on top of the logs right now. It'll have some airspace underneath it, but it'll sit on top of it, and then next year as I sell off the wood, I am going to go ahead and get them out of the way, and I'm going to put some posts in the ground and put some beams up to hold it up, and then I'm going to actually lift this roof, which is going to be 18 by 16 feet. I'm going to put it on top and actually make a good storage structure. But this is one of those things where you create more work for yourself sometimes by, I got the wood and I just started splitting it and stacking it and letting it cure, because logs rot, firewood cures, and lumber dries, and so I wanted to cut it and split it so it would cure. And so I'm going to have a lot of firewood for the next coming years in my firewood stand and my house. But I cut all this, and now this is a good place that I would like to have a permanently roof structured. So again, I'm going to build the roof, sit it on top of this. It's going to be about 5 feet high approximately, or a little over 4 feet high. It's going to slope off that way, and then next year I'm going to turn it a 40-degree turn. I'm going to put an angle on the end boards for a 412 or a 512 pitch. So then I will put that up. The back side will be 8 feet high. The front will be, what, 13 feet high, something like that, and it'll come out 16 feet by 18 feet, and I'll have a good place to park a vehicle underneath it, a boat, an excavator. I'll probably continue to store firewood here as well, so I'll probably process firewood and stack it. And because of the height of the roof, I'll be able to stack it much higher so not use as much space, but this is going to be quite the project. All right, behind me here you can see some of the 2x6s that are 20 feet long. I'll actually have to cut those down to about 18 to be the right length. I've got some metal roofing here that I I ordered to match some other stuff that I have, so I don't have any waste. I'll have to go pick those up, and we're just going to create the roof. So it is going to, like I said, there's no flat space to work here. I don't have powers, but I do have my battery operated saw, so I'll be making that, and I'll just be pounding galvanized 16s into the wood. I'm going to build it right on top of the wood pile. I'm actually going to make the cuts, set the boards there, set them on top, pound them there, and then try to get, the hard part is going to be sitting on top of the wood pile to get everything square and flush, and then laying out well so that I can put my metal roofing on and screw it down, hold it tight, and then when I go to put it on an engineered beams and trusses next year, or not trusses, but beams just to support the roof up, and it'll be nice and square that I won't have a lot of shifting in the roof. I need to get it flat and square this year, which while laying on top of the wood pile, and so that I can shift it on top of the roof later. First step, cutting the 412 pitch on each end. This is not for today, this is for in the future when I put the roof up and have it sloped at a 412. This way both the front and back will be straight vertical. As I was measuring layout for the rafters, I was already being frustrated with this unlevel surface. Trying to get these boards to sit side by side, flat, so I can mark where I'm going to nail on both ends. It's frustrating. It'll be interesting. I hope I'm not going to frustrate myself trying to build on this unlevel wood pile. It's not like when you're building a house and you build the first floor wood deck and then you've got the floor deck right there and you can just build off of that. This is going to be it might be frustrating. I hope not. All right, next thing I need to do, all of my 2x6s I have 20 footers. I'm cutting them down to 17 feet 6 inches. I have metal roofing to go cover 18 feet. I'm going to have the joists on the outside there adding 3 inches. I want the roofing to overhang a little bit, so I'm going 6 inches short of 18 feet, which my roofing will do. So we've got that marked here. All right, if all goes as planned, that should be all the cutting I have to do for the whole project. Now we're going to take these 2x6s, going this way across the pile. I didn't mention I'm doing these 4 feet apart instead of 2 feet apart. I don't think we're going to have that much snow load. Plus, if I add those extra 2x6s in every 2 feet, it might be extra hard to lift next year when we build the structure. So I think this will be strong enough to make it work this year. This last corner, since I'm out into space, I just tied some baling twine to hold this up generally in the right area, nailed down that end, got it up there, then I held this back up and proceeded to nail it. Because it was still kind of out in space and loose and bouncing, I actually put a screw in here first, because that screw would go in there, grab the board, pull it back, and then I put my galvanized 16s in there. This next part is where it's going to get extra frustrating doing this by myself. I need to shift this up into the place that I want, and then I need to square it up. And if I had a partner here, you know, they'd lift on the opposite side, and then we could adjust and he could stay there. But I'm going to have to lift on one side, probably go to the other side, back and forth until I get it. Also, squaring it up, if I was building on a floor deck, I would just put a nail in there so it didn't shift, and then I could push the other end, and you get 2 different tapes and put them diagonally across, and when they measure the same 2 diagonal corners, then you know you got it square. But I'm not going to have the ability to do that, so this part might get extra frustrating. So I wish I had one of my boys here to help me. They're good workers, but you know, they got lives of their own, and right now they're got some good young ladies in their lives that they're pursuing, and you know, and we're not just chasing ladies, but I mean, they found some good Christian young ladies that they think they're going to end up marrying, and there's no greater impact on the future happiness than finding a good spouse. You could have a good job or whatever, but if you're married to a good spouse, that's probably going to create future happiness. So my boys are out doing a good thing. And I'm not saying that your emotions and your joy should be contingent on another person, but if you find a good spouse and you work together as partners and life partners and to chase and pursue dreams, there's nothing better. And I've been blessed with the wife that I have. It makes a big difference. This is where I'm going to call it quits for the day. I've got it framed, I've got the metal on, basically squared, but it's not perfectly square. I'll show you the edges here, how it doesn't quite square up completely. But anyway, I've got it this far. If it starts to rain right now, we've got the slope, we've got the metal layer overlapped. It's not going to get in there, it's going to keep it dry. I'm not even going to screw it down right now because it's not perfectly square. I don't want to put some screws in and then have to shift them later and leave some holes there. So I'm going to get someone down here later to help me out. We'll square this up a little bit and then we'll put the screws in and it'll be fine. A huge wind could come and lift this metal off right now since it's not screwed down, but it would take a big wind. I don't think that's going to happen right now, or not for any time soon. So we're going to leave it like this until I can get some help to square it up and screw it down, and then but this is where it's going to sit for the winter. All I got left for today is a little bit of cleanup. Again, this roof is going to just sit on the wood pile for this winter. As I sell off the wood next summer and clear out the space, we'll put some holes in, put some posts in, and do a post beam construction type thing and then the height of the roof in the back will be 8 feet. In the front will be about 13 feet, and it'll be 17 feet wide. So we'll have plenty of storage. We can stack wood higher. I'll probably stack wood on one side and store equipment on the other side. And this will probably continue to be my wood processing area. I'll bring logs and drop them off here in front of this. I'll leave space so I can have my excavator and my splitter out in front and then just chuck stuff inside. Once again, thanks for joining me on the Flanagan Homestead, where Christmas trees are my business, teaching and cleaning horticulture is my job, and outdoor projects like this are my passion. Hope to see you again soon, everyone. Be blessed.